Hi, I'm Aisha with Start to Finish Motherhood, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about the thinking phase of becoming an SMC because it is a journey. And you start out thinking, and then if you decide that this path is for you, you progress on to trying to connect with your child, and then on and on and on into parenting. The thinking phase is a critical phase of becoming an SMC. People can stay in the thinking phase from anywhere to a number of months to a number of years, just trying to get their heads around the idea, the concept, and work through some of the fear and concerns that they might have. And I would say that this is the most guarded phase of the SMC journey because there are no physical changes. A lot of the changes are happening emotionally. You're having lots of heart conversations with yourself. You are combing through your finances, looking at your career, trying to make the right decision based on your own choices and what's important to you. And so, in the different communities that I help to admin, we get a lot of questions and we get a lot of people in the thinking phase. And some of the concerns they have are around these kind of like deep philosophical questions about where they will now fit, where their child will fit in society and in the context of their own realities. And so, the thinking phase, you should protect it fiercely, guard it. You want to make sure that you're firm on your own beliefs your own whys before you get in front of people, because people tend to speak from their own needs and their own lens through which they view the world, which sometimes align and sometimes do not align with your best interest. And so before you share it, make sure that you're firm on your why. And I typically recommend to people that I coach to write down your why, because you will find yourself coming back to it again and again and again as you get nervous or get closer to making a final decision. So ask yourself, why do you want to pursue this path? There's no right or wrong answer. Don't judge yourself. Don't worry about what other people are going to think. Parenting is inherently a selfish decision. And so set that aside, set guilt aside, and then get to the core of why it is that you want to become a single mother by choice. And we each have our different whys. And so I will say, write it down, keep it close. It'll be like it'll be like home base for you, because you will constantly be coming back and forth to it as you progress and get further in your thinking process. So I will say that for me, my why was that I really wanted to parent children. And I, like many other SMCs, don't come to this path lightly. It is a huge undertaking, and love is not always enough, just like with any relationship. So for me, I was 37 when I finally became a single mother by choice. But my thinking started in my early 30s. I'd say right around 31, 32. At that point, I was maybe 4 or 5 years post-divorce. Wanting to have kids was a sticking point in my divorce, and I had always known that I wanted to be a mom. There was no second guessing on that. And what happened was, when I got divorced and I began dating, you somehow are attached to other people's timelines as opposed to your own. And this decision was too important to me to leave it in the hands of other people. And so from 32 on forward, I would go back and forth between, can I do this? Can I, handle the financial aspects of it? What will people think about me? What will happen to my career? So you're going to have all of these thoughts. And it's important to sit with the thoughts until you become firm. Again, going back to your why. Okay, does this align with my why, and how can I make it happen? And so I will tell you some of the questions and some of the concerns we get from people in their thinking phases is, can I handle all of the finances? What will people think of me? Will I be a good parent? Will I find a partner after all is said and done? And I will say planning, 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 planning. Support groups such as Single Mother by Choice groups, MOCA Single Mother by Choice groups, virtual, in-person, online. A coach like myself can kind of take a you-centered approach and really delve deep into what those concerns are and what's the reality of those concerns, speaking from not only my own firsthand experience, but from seeing thousands of women go through the thinking phase and actively parenting as SMCs. And so I would say plan, support groups. My personal desire was to live a full life. If you have heard my story, my parents died when I was really young. And so for me, the ability to even live and breathe was paramount in my mind. So my goal was to live an exceptional and an extraordinary life and to have very few regrets. And I will say that I have zero regrets about this choice. Some people are worried about finding a partner. Let me ease your fears. The dating pool is what it is. And I remember having a conversation with one of my girlfriends before I took the plunge to get pregnant. And I worried if the dating scene would change. And I was on dating sites. And I will tell you, after I had my child and like 2 years in, I went back on some of the dating sites to update my profiles. And some of the same men were still on the dating sites. But I will say that dating for me has not changed pre-kid versus post-kid. What has changed is my criteria and what I'm looking for in a relationship. And I would say allow yourself that space to evolve as a parent, because your needs, your desires, your wants in terms of even wanting a relationship or marriage or what have you will change as you evolve as a parent, and allow that to happen. But in the meantime, as you're in the thinking phase, there's no reason to not date. Again, I say, guard your thinking phase, but you're human and you still have needs and you still want to be close to other human beings. So go ahead and do that. Anyone who's going to love you is going to love your kid. Otherwise, they're not the right person for you. And so on that note, I hope I've eased some of your fears. I'm Aisha with Start to Finish Motherhood. You can find me on Instagram. You can find my videos on YouTube. Be on the lookout for conversation workshops that I have coming your way, coaching opportunities. And if you found any value in this talk right here, please subscribe or follow me on Instagram at Start to Finish Motherhood. Bye now.